I can't wait to hit the gritty with Donatello.
You did not just say that.
I mean, that's what the kids are doing these days. They're not so much worried or concerned about the Metal Gears or the Master Collection. I mean, we've moved on from that. It's time to have Solid Snake in Fortnite.
Are you gonna say bet next?
No.
Okay.
I got more Riz than that.
Oh God.
Hey, I'm Fingers.
Yo, it's Apache Smash.
Hey everyone, this is Days Ahead.
And I'm Nitroid. You're listening to the Kojima Frequency.
That new Turtles film is the first film to have the word Riz in it.
Nice.
No way. Really?
Yeah.
That dialogue they had on the street there was very modern. I was like, okay. Like they were talking about with the ketchup and the salt and the pepper. I was like, okay, wow, this is.
It was all ad-libbed.
Nice. And it was actual teenage. Yeah, I mean, those kids were really young when they did that. So
that's rare that they actually have kids or teenagers play kids or teenagers in shows or movies.
Yeah.
It worked. I like that film.
Yeah, it was so natural with it. It didn't. They're like these younger guys, and they're like, "Hey, dude!" It's like, "Wait, are you 30?" Like, they all sound like burnouts. Like,
you're right. Normally, it's like this is a show about high school, and they're all in their 20s.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer,
Riverdale.
Yeah, which is still a hilarious concept. Like, who sat down and thought, what if we made Archie but grimdark?
I will tell you right now, it started grimdark, but it certainly didn't end grimdark.
I know nothing about the show, so you've got one up on me here.
It gets insane. That's all I'm gonna say.
I don't know what grimdark is.
Well, speaking of casting in movies,
oh my gosh, where do we start?
I was gonna say it's been a minute since we've recorded. We had to take our little holiday mini break there, and so much stuff has happened. I mean, thinking back now, actually. I mean, big news today that, Kojima just, well, they casually dropped it through a t-shirt announcement, actually. I woke up at 4 and saw this thing. I was like, here's this t-shirt that goes with the Death Stranding movie. I was like,
that tracks.
Oh, cool. Yeah. That looks nice. Wait, Death Stranding movie? What the hell? And then it just all started rolling out.
Okay. I could swear I've seen news about the Death Stranding movie before now. Now, I think this is the first time they said that, okay, we're going to be making it with A24.
A24, yeah.
Right. That's the big announcement, but I could have sworn they were already talking about shopping this thing around.
Either way, for it to drop through that t-shirt announcement was just very Kojima, just to hear about it through merch first and then
This isn't the first studio to say that they were doing a Death Stranding film, because in December of last year there was a Death Stranding film in the works from Barbarian Hammerstone Studios. And there was a poster for it, which I can link in the chat, I guess.
How do I not know about this?
Yeah, I already watched the Death Stranding movie. If you go to YouTube and then go to Adam Online,
yeah,
yes. Oh, geez, Apache, Jesus. He posted the movie poster thing. Oh man,
isn't it already a fucking movie?
It is.
Pretty
it
much.
is. No. Okay, so one, Days is 100% correct, and if you have not seen Adam Online's, what'd you call it? It's not. I mean, is it a documentary of sorts? Is that what you would call it? It's an amazing video series though, where he just sort of retreads a lot of the steps for locations where that inspired the game, and just sort of talks about his own perspective on things, and it's really cool.
Yeah, he called it Death Stranding in real life, and so he basically visited a lot of the scenery, that was kind of the inspiration for the game. Those mossy hills and stuff, and yeah, I mean, it just kind of took a lot of great shots. It's just it's a relaxing kind of series to watch. Just put on in the background, and yeah. Shout out Adam Online.
A trip to Iceland is not cheap, but he's got this multi-episode series. Yeah, it's Death Stranding IRL. Adventures in Chirality, and it's quite amazing, and it has gotten next to no attention, which blows my mind because it's incredibly well made.
Definitely go check that out.
I highly recommend it.
With that announcement, we eventually got all of the news outlets talking about it, and we got a few tweets from Kojima and stuff. And one thing that I got the email this morning that was talking about it, and like a press event type thing or whatever, and just clicked into the site, and it was kind of expanding on it, saying like that they were gonna take the story and add more to it. It's not just a 1-to-1 type. That they're going to be expanding the universe, which thank God. Because we were talking about that earlier. It's like, that's really what we need from this series is just like we said it on the first episode, Nitro, you said, it just needs to, it never snapped into focus. We have no foundation here. It's just like, let's get this a little tighter.
You know what? I'm going to try and be positive today.
Okay.
I'm going to let you guys be negative. I'm going to try.
Wait, no, I didn't plan for this. Hold on.
No, like I think, right, whenever they make these movies of games, we're always there going, just make the fucking game. Like, the story's already there. But with this, I actually think it's a good decision to do something else. Like don't do the fucking game.
Yeah, something supplementary to it.
Yeah.
Right?
It does give me, like, run through the animatrix in a way where we're sort of taking a concept that might not adapt well in another format and making it sort of a more anthology so that it can adapt to the format.
I'm here for that.
Yeah, I'm excited.
And that they're going to have like character cameo for like 5 minutes to pull one of the actors in. Because there's no way they won't.
Thinking about this, now I'm thinking about all the movie stars that Kojima has been kind of promoting and hanging out with. And it's like, all right, who are we going to see in this thing? Yeah, pretty much.
Like literally all of them.
Like Timothée Chalamet, like, is he going to be like, he's going to be in something here soon. He's definitely been kind of putting him up on a pedestal. And
think about the last time he sort of did this where he's inviting, every other celebrity, right, to view the studio and visit and everything. And what ended up happening? Just about every single person that he tweeted photos with in the studio ended up in the game in some respect. They were face scanning all of them, and like you had Edgar Wright as one of the characters. You've got Conan O'Brien's in there, and just like literally everybody. So like everyone we've seen so far is probably going to show up in DS2.
Can I make a prediction for the film? Because I'm always like 100% with these predictions.
Yep, go ahead.
There was some concern that they're going to recast Tommy Earl Jenkins. Or I guess Tommy Earl Jenkins said, I haven't been signed on to do this. I would love to do it, but that isn't always how it works out. I think they are going to fuck him over, and they're going to cast Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Yeah. Oh my God, shut up, dude.
That's what you got to worry about out here. Dwayne's just out here eating all the roles out.
And I'll be so fucking mad if Tommy Earl Jenkins gets fucked over for a role.
No, I mean, he's Die Hardman for sure. That's what sucks.
They're going to recast Sam with Chris Pratt.
Or Kiefer Sutherland.
And
there's your jokes of the day from Twitter.
Everybody's been joking about it, yeah. No, I mean, I'm interested to see what they do. I just want them to explain what the Death Stranding actually is. Like,
what is even a Death Stranding? Yeah.
Just like define it for me. Give me like a one sentence, like it is this. Don't tell me like what the side effects are.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me what it is. Just, I want to know, like, in a sentence, because I still don't know.
The direct quote it says the promises to delve into the mysteries surrounding the apocalyptic event called the Death Stranding. So it's like, we're definitely going to get a, hi, that's me, wondering how I got here. I'm Death Stranding. So we're probably going to get an origin story or whatever the hell happens with that.
It was caused by Mr. Death Stranding.
Yeah. It's a sticky situation. But no, hopefully we do get some good context here that'll at least, when we do revisit the game or, when the second game comes out, it's just the supplementary thing. I also kind of don't like that, like thinking about like with Star Wars, like when you would watch that third movie and they're like, oh, we had to read the third book or whatever to know what was going on. It's like, come on, man. Like,
I don't want to have to like buy 40 different comic books and like read 3 novels.
But a movie, I really don't mind. Like, that's fine. A movie for a game, that's an all right trade-off. A book, it's like, all right, simmer down.
Would Kojima direct it though? I feel like he wouldn't. He would probably put it in somebody else's hands.
Would you want him to?
Creative consultant.
Yeah, creative consultant. I think it's going to say a Hideo Kojima film at the start of it, though.
At the end of the day, it will say that, because he has this complete oversight, but he will let someone else direct it so he can blame them later if people don't like it. Yeah,
I think it's going to be a fucking huge hit because this is something that people like guests joke about and talk about all the time. Oh,
Sure.
when are you going to do a movie? When are you going to do a movie? And then it's like, this is it. This is the movie.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be huge.
It kind of blows my mind that we're gonna potentially get a Death Stranding movie before a Metal Gear Solid movie.
Yeah.
I feel like Death Stranding translates better
I agree.
to a film. I think it's just like we've said already. We've just got nothing but praise for this. It's like, yeah, I kind of want to see that.
I will say, for me personally, it was very reminiscent of like the weird 70s sci-fi movies that I used to watch ironically in college, shit like Zardos, for example.
Oh yeah.
So when you look at it from that angle, I'm pretty excited as well.
God, do it with the same technology and cameras and everything. I'd watch the hell out of that. Just retro it.
It does feel like, they could easily adapt this to a film, though. They've got like enough building blocks to just do some wild shit in a movie or to do a series. Like, I also wouldn't have minded if they announced that, like a Death Stranding series or something that'd give them a little bit more breathing room to actually flesh it out. With Metal Gear, that's also kind of the same way, like we've talked about it before. It's like, a series would let us kind of just delve into this a little more than just like a 2-hour movie. You can only set up but so much.
Yeah, don't show me what I've already seen. Show me the world. Show me like what else is going on. We don't need to focus on all the same characters. Like there are other interesting things going on. That's why like the example you brought up, Days, of the Animatrix, like that was a great little supplement for that series that sort of was like, oh, there is this whole other world going on that I didn't know about.
Well, it also reminds me of like when a bunch of like World War Z fans would have preferred like an anthology on HBO as opposed to the Brad Pitt film they got.
Oh yeah, that movie sucked. So funny story. I know you three know it, but I'll share it anyway just to get it out there. But the A24 working on Death Stranding thing is really funny, and you do not have to believe me if you don't want to, but I swear to God that it is true. Back in 2020, A24 accidentally sent me an email asking how to get in touch with Hideo Kojima.
Now, to be clear, this is not like, hey, Nitroid, we're reaching out.
Right,
to you.
right. Yeah, it was
like,
not intended for me, but because we have a fan site that I've since reworded some things, and I can kind of see why it could have been mistaken for an official source at the time.
I mean, do you want to say the name of the thing to just put it out? Like, it's the Kojima Productions Network. Like, that's been the name of y'all's fan site stuff for forever. That's been what you've had.
Yeah, fans know what that is.
Exactly.
But A24 might not, right? I got an email from them through that outlet, basically saying like, hey, how can we get in touch with Mr. Kojima, and they elaborated on some things they wanted to do, and I won't go into too much detail because I really don't want to get anybody in trouble. And I was just like, oh, that's funny. And I just replied and said, like, this is a fan site. Try contacting, like, this is his assistant's Twitter. This is another place you could try. Like, I do not have a direct line. Like,
and that person was like, shit.
Yeah, and no, they did reply back and were thankful, but I was just like, huh.
But then they got off the email and were like, shit.
Probably, yeah.
No, that sucks. But good on you for doing it that way and handling it, professionally. Up until now, until the news came out, I guess we're.
Yeah, I kind of had to bite my tongue, but I was like, yeah, A24 Kojima, that tracks.
Yeah.
And so I just kind of just shut up and didn't say anything, and then slowly over the years, it's like Kojima goes to A24, Kojima doing something with A24, A24 working on Death Stranding movie, and I'm just like, so yeah, there you go.
I think they would have eventually found him, but yeah, you helped facilitate it for sure.
I guess.
People getting mad and calling you a liar is so funny because I know for a fact it's true.
Yeah.
Why would
it's
I lie about it?
It's so awesome being able to sit there and know that it's true and they're mad about it. It gave me so much joy today. And like, if you're gonna lie on the internet, you don't lie about that kind of thing. You say, I'm a trained helicopter pilot.
Right.
By the way, I'm a trained helicopter pilot.
Yeah, it's honestly, and I'm not. This is not an indictment on you, Nitroid, or any type of shade. But like when I joined this kerfuffle and I saw Kojima Productions Network, I was like, one day this is gonna get Nitroid into some shit, and this was the shit. So yeah,
like, maybe.
It's. I'll just say this. Again, not getting into detail, but it's not the first time. So after that, I was like, yeah, I need to change some things, and now I've got like explicit disclaimers because I'm like, oh, like there's more than fans looking at this. I need to be very clear. This is not like, yeah, that's funny. That's not even the most unbelievable story I have, but whatever. Fun times.
Tell us more.
You can't leave it like that, man.
No, I mean, it's nothing. No, it's not like.
No, it's like I've been on this ride with you guys for a while, and this shit happens all the fucking time.
It does.
This shit happens all the time.
Yeah, we'll just drop some shit in chat, and everybody's just like, "What the fuck?" Like, yeah, like I had a bombshell to share with you guys the other day, or like a few months ago or whatever, and it was just like, oh, whoop, like keep that quiet.
Well, yeah, I don't want to get into the like, we know things and we're gonna brag, and not tell like no, screw that, no,
yeah, no,
okay, like. Of things I could talk about, and again, it's stuff that most people already know, but like if I was to tell somebody, yeah, I went to E3, hung out in Kojima's office, and played a portable ops alpha with Noriaki Okamura, people probably aren't going to believe that either, but I've got photos.
We have the receipts.
Yeah.
Speaking of E3.
Oh, yeah.
Rest in peace.
Oh, dude, that made me so sad, actually. Like, every time, there's all these things going on about E3, you're like, oh, yeah, fuck E3, it sucked. And I was like, I don't know, man. I had a great time, and I didn't hate it.
Real quick, we got to explain like what's going on because people listening may not follow the news.
No more E3. E3 dead. Bye. It's
E3
gone
dead
forever.
Yes.
Like it's pretty
rip.
Yep, pretty dark out here.
It was so much fun, man.
At least we have the Game Awards, though, right?
That's what gets me the most is that this happened right after the like worst iteration of the Keighleys.
Yeah.
And it was just a painful reminder of like that one. Fuck.
Yeah. And I've seen people, I mean, yeah, speaking of Tommy, like I saw him even tweeting about it. It's like, I never got to go. Like it was like, one of the years like right after that he got involved where they were off, and it's just, it is like a very special thing. Kojima was going on and on about it today on Twitter. It's just like it was this thing that was organic and just people, the devs, the fans, the suits, they all kind of got together, and it was just, it's so much better than just the Game Awards. I don't know. I had such a blast at that thing, and just conventions in general are fun, and like, but I think E3 had some of the best like production value and the stuff that you could just take a picture with, and just, I don't know, like as far as that stuff goes, it was pretty peak for me. I don't know.
E3 was surreal, man. It really was like walking into a different world because you could just rub elbows with all of these developers, like all of these famous figures in gaming that you sort of, think of as unreachable or up on a pedestal, or it's easy to romanticize this stuff, but they're just regular people, and E3 is what sort of made that, it sort of drove that point home for me because I'm just like bumping into people on the regular and just like they're just there. They're there to work, they're there to talk, and it's so weird. Like I remember being in I was actually at one with Token Flip Guy, and we were getting lunch, and we bumped into Koji Igarashi, and he was he was in the same line as us getting pizza, and we were like, "Holy crap, it's Koji Igarashi!" And he was like, hey, he was really nice, took a picture with us. It's just like, then that happens.
Legends overpay for convention pizza too.
And not even like the huge names too, but like some of the, like the guy from like Mutant League Football, like you remember that on Genesis, like the creator of that was there, and he was just cool as shit, and just, I don't know, seeing that whole side of it was just really rad.
Like Reggie Fils-Aimé walking around the Nintendo area, just playing games with people and talking to them. And by the way, that dude is enormous, but super nice. And that I feel like is lost now as we sort of lean more into this Hollywood sensibility where we're trying to mimic
the devs are getting shafted and booed off stage with, please wrap it up signs and Oscar music. And it's just, it's all fucking flipped around, man. Like this Game Awards actually like made me sad, and I was kind of like bummed out for a few days. Like, I don't know if it just kind of all like came together, and I was like, man, the absolute state of things right now, like this really sucks with all the layoffs and all the shit that happened this year. I mean, at least we got 10 minutes of Grover, right? And, it's fuck me.
This Gonzo.
Yeah. So that's like, whatever. I don't know. It's insignificant. That's like, we all checked out. Like, we had Danny DeVito in the corner thankfully during that stream, just giving us a good reaction shot. Me and Nitroid. Apache came in for a bit. Apache was like, I gotta go. It was
just exhausting.
Days did pop into when your guy got an award there. You're like,
yeah, and then he got cut off like right when he was getting like emotional. It's like, come on, Jeff. It just made me feel so cynical. Yeah, I was watching it at the back of a truck at In-N-Out, and I was just happy to have friends there because otherwise I just would have been sad.
Yeah, it's like, what are you doing? This. No, I'm being negative again. Oh man.
No, just fucking do it, man.
No. The Game Awards deserves his smoke, man. No,
okay. I'll get a little bit out. It's don't call it the Game Awards. Call it something else because clearly the awards are not the focus. It is a commercial thing.
I mean, and it's been that.
Very commercial.
Let's not pretend it hasn't been this big, promotional thing.
It has, but it's never been more obvious.
This was the most egregious version of it. Yeah, that's like, it just made me grossed out, and I was just like, man, this sucks. I would not like to be part of something with this and like be receiving an award and be treated like that. That's just, it's all mixed up. And we had so much time for what was the guy's name? God, I always blank on his name.
Hideo Kojima.
God damn it. Yeah, they had so much time for Simu Leo to come out and talk about his broken foot. It was the priorities were all just mixed up. It's like those guys need to come out, do a quick little, 10 seconds and show the category and let the people that are actually a part of this industry speak. We're celebrating them in that. I don't see the benefit of letting these other assholes talk for a while. I don't know. It sucked to watch. It really did bum me out for a few days. I was like, man, this sucks.
He didn't say jack about the layoffs either, the fucking coward.
And that's probably why they didn't let him talk. They were probably like, all right, get them all, don't let them fucking talk about anything.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that. Holy crap.
Wouldn't want him to take up 8 minutes.
Well, I did see that Sven from Larian did bring out his speech. Like, he wrote on Twitter everything that he was going to say if he was able to say at the Game Awards. And I think he did mention folks who, passed and folks who actually were laid off. In fact, he mentioned that the folks he was in meetings with with Wizards of the Coast and D&D that were helping him to set up Baldur's Gate. That he said all those people and that were with him in that office are no longer around. So it's like, it's been such a great...
It's sad.
It's sad. It's been such an incredible output for shit in 2023. And it's so disappointing for it to end like this, I guess. And it's not, and I hate to say that because I feel like it legitimizes the Game Awards, which makes me remember what I was going to say. I just remembered I was going to say something, which is like, folks compare the Keighleys to the Oscars when I would akin them more to like the MTV Movie Awards.
Yeah, or like Nickelodeon Choice Awards or some bullshit that doesn't matter.
Right,
I guess.
right.
I mean, the smoking gun for me was they have like the most anticipated game award, and the MTV Movie Awards has the exact same award for like most anticipated movie. We might as well just give out most like best video game kiss. Like, come on now, they have that.
Yeah,
it's
so
Movie
stupid.
Awards.
They do, yeah.
No,
let's do it right now. What is the best video game kiss?
They're all terrible because nobody knows how to animate a kiss.
Probably some shit that y'all did in Baldur's Gate. I mean, it's got to be buried in there. I wasn't there that night when y'all all hung out, but
the democratic sex.
Yeah.
We're not talking about this Kojima Frequency minus fingers democratic sex Discord call.
God.
Oh, man.
I want to know, like, who they think they're fooling when they have a countdown to the start of the show, but they're giving out awards before the show and showing trailers before the show, and then the countdown ends, and the only difference is now Jeff is on stage introducing the exact same thing they were doing before the show. Like, where's the start? Where's the end? What does it mean? It doesn't mean anything. I'm confused.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I mean, at least we got a Jurassic Park announcement, which Nitro appreciated, and
yeah,
we got the return of Sega.
Yeah, that shit was wild.
Them just launching old school IPs at us, which that was my highlight of the whole show. I was just like, fuck yeah.
Okay, that brings me to another thing. I love how like it was just like nonstop ads to a point where like you weren't sure when one trailer ended and the next trailer began.
Yeah, it was kind of like
it's like purgatory, game trailer purgatory.
Most of them look the same too.
Nitro would be like, "Hey man, are you paying attention?" I was just kind of like, "Nah, I don't know, man." I was just kind of lost the whole time. I just was kind of out of it. It like stunned me.
Jurassic Park woke me up.
Yeah, I was about to say there's a certain parts where I kind of snapped in, but a lot of times I was kind of like on my phone or just was just out of it. It sucks that people went there and had to just experience that all live. People paid to get in. I think they were doing like seat filler tickets too, like just trying to like give away stuff so they made it look more packed than it was.
Yeah, and still the applause was muted as heck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I won't go too hard into Jurassic Park here because I could talk for a very long time about it. And yeah, I won't pull an InGen frequency here, but like I'm going to have Metal Gear level standards for the Jurassic Park horror game. Like I've been wanting this for decades.
Yeah.
And I've been imagining it for decades and thinking like how they should do it, what would work, what wouldn't work. And of course, like Alien Isolation is like the gold standard for like movie adaptations.
Yeah.
And they have got a high bar to clear. And we'll see.
It's funny, you've just been wanting that, Jurassic Park game for so long. So many other people have just been wanting Solid Snake or Old Snake in Fortnite, and they finally got their wish. I got Ninja Turtles in mind. You know what I'm saying? Like it's been all right.
Yeah, but they ruined his ass. They gave him Hank Hill ass.
Yeah, dropped straight down.
Is Hank Hill in Fortnite? And if not, why?
We got Peter Griffin, but no Hank Hill. Yeah.
Give it time.
We got our priorities all mixed up.
But yeah. So the Game Awards, other than Jurassic Park, is there any other announcements that would be relevant to this show?
I guess.
Not really.
I guess a little bit.
Well, yeah, and that was another huge time sink was us talking about this one little. Well, how long was it? 30 seconds? 45 seconds?
It was an indie game announcement.
Yeah, it's from a little studio.
Yeah. So this, okay, look. So OD,
yeah,
this self-proclaimed avant-garde project was leaked a while back, and there was really not a lot of clarity as to whether it was legitimate or not. But
for those that don't remember, just if it's not kind of ringing a bell, just if you remember the guy that was filming the monitor with his shirt off and you could see his nipples,
guy.
That's what we're talking about here. If you remember that, yeah, just rewind back to that. So that's OD, apparently.
I was going to say, I forget what episode that was, but we talked about the nipples probably just as much.
We definitely talked about the nipples. So if you search some transcripts, you will, get there. We were talking about this a while ago. So yeah, that's kind of all ringing a bell now. We're all like, okay, that's what we're working with.
Yeah, there was a horror game that was being play tested. It had, Margaret Qualley in it, possibly as a stand-in, but there was some leaked logos and it was called Overdose, and everyone was presuming that this was the project that was being worked on with Xbox, and turns out that seems to be the case with OD. I mean, unless he's got 2 games with that name, but I kind of doubt it.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was a lot of the same, the colors and the symbols and stuff. I mean, we're definitely on repeat stuff here. That matches with OD. I mean, for sure.
And there had been a lot of speculation early on about how whatever horror project or cloud-based project Kojima was doing, it was going to lean into sort of audience participation and streaming and things like that.
Cloud something or another.
Right.
Like
think Silent Hill Ascension, or what is that? What it's called, Ascension?
Yeah.
I'm trying to wipe it from my memory. Think Silent Hill Ascension, but like not embarrassing.
Yeah.
And that's sort of where it might be going, but again, that's just speculation, so nobody really knows for sure. But it is clearly horror related.
Yeah, I mean, we have Hunter Schafer just pretty much screaming there at the end of it that this is someone either comes through a door or something happens. Oh yeah, by the way, it's a direct reference to PT here with the whole door, and that was one thing I guess the Game Awards did pretty cool. They had Kojima come through the PT door, great, but all right, so it's called something. I'm blanking on the term for it. What is the thing that they're saying? It's like a vocal pengram. Is that what it's called? When they're going through all of the motions for a motion capture system to kind of get every shape that your mouth makes. That's the lines that they're saying. I think it's called a pengram, like pengram. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I can't remember the term.
I saw it the other day. Like, yeah, pengrams are words or sentences containing every letter of the English alphabet at the most one. So, or at the least one. So I guess, that's like,
it's like a phonetic reading. Yeah.
It's kind of like the analog sound version of
the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog.
It's like they're trying to hit every possibility here with either, and I was thinking, is it a sound thing or is it more a motion capture thing with how their faces are moving?
Hard to say. I mean, when they capture vocal engrams for actors, actresses, like they have them say every possible sounding of a consonant, or like every sound you can make, right? And they've got like a list of like, if you say these things, you're going to hit everyone in every possible variation. That way they can duplicate the voices. And that's like sort of the old way of doing it, before AI sort of ate everybody's lunch. He makes his announcement, he shows the trailer, and then surprise, who else walks out?
Jordan Peele.
Yeah.
Which is nuts.
He came out with the I got 5 on it.
And then proceeded to praise the hell out of MGS2, which I really appreciated.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see them working together, but I think we were kind of coming into this going like, all right, Death Stranding 2 trailer 2 time. Like we were kind of coming, and then that happened, and we were kind of just like, what the hell was that? Like it was just so little.
Yeah,
we're in that Kojima mystery phase where it just kind of stunned us. We're just like, damn it, like Kojima.
Okay, so if I remember right, there was a teaser for the Game Awards that had footage from DS2 that hadn't been seen before, it seemed, or maybe it was.
Yeah.
I don't know. Either way, there was footage in there.
I was pretty much going into this like ready.
And then it wasn't.
Yeah, because I mean, he's been editing. Like, did he really take that long to edit that little? I don't know. I'm not trying to diminish the work. Because I'll say this, and someone else said it too. Like, it kind of broke the uncanny valley for the first time. Like these models look fucking like perfect.
In what?
In the OD trailer.
I'm not convinced those are models. I know some people are saying they are, but has there actually been confirmation that those are models? Because I think that's just extremely bright. I
thought it was just the actors.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Yeah, I thought it was actors in like a capture studio with really bright lights. I mean, if that's CG, then yeah, it's impressive, but I'm not convinced that it is.
I don't know. I mean, I guess that's what I'm saying. We've hit the point where I don't know, man. Like, it could be.
Well, it's because of deepfake tech, Deepfake sort of cheats.
They're wearing like a black suit that kind of has like the rest of their body kind of chopped off. Like they look separate from their body, kind of like in the actual footage.
Well, they've got, you've seen like the capture globes that they have at Kojima Productions, right?
For Death Stranding 1 and stuff.
Yeah, and it looks like they're in those.
If we were there a few years ago.
Well, the shots that they were showing of the actors looked like they were recording them from inside of those.
I'm going to look at it again. Like, I don't know.
That's what it seemed like anyway.
I don't see that. No, dude, look at this. Looks like CG. I'm pulling it up right now, and it doesn't look like real life.
I don't.
That looks like a video game. Like the lighting and everything. To me, that does not look. I mean, it looks really good. They don't have any dots on them. They have the effects in their eyes, but I mean, I don't know. That's news to me. Like I've thought that this was CG.
I mean, yeah, it could be, but it could also just be high exposure. I mean, I've seen movies that the filtering and
they've got like a blurring thing going on. Yeah, they're like it's highly focused in the center, and then just the depth of field is just right there. Yeah.
Look in their eyes. That's what makes me think they're in the globes.
I don't know, man. This looks like mocap to me. It's like the inside of their mouths, the teeth. The teeth don't look real life.
Yeah. Speaking of the inside of their mouths, which is a weird segue.
I was about to say, great transition there. Because this was all, that's the thing. We were kind of like, all right, whatever. This is nothing, kind of, big tech demo here. And then you give it 3 or 4 days, as you do with a Kojima trailer, and let somebody comb through it frame by frame, and you start to notice letters in their mouths. And
is that what happens?
That's just your everyday Kojima.
And
just Kojima things.
So the letters in the mouths spell out Atami, which is a city in Shizuoka Prefecture in Japan. And if you are playing along at home, Shizuoka roughly translates kinda, sorta, in a roundabout way to Silent Hill.
Quiet hills, silent hills, something or another. But damn it, Kojima, we're not here to do this again. Everybody's tired.
Anecdotally, Shizuoka is sort of a nickname for Silent Hill among Japanese fans, as I understand it. And it's not the first time that this has been reference specifically has been used, because for PT, if you remember the development studio, the fake one that they used, it was 7780S Studio. 7780 is, if I remember correctly, the square, the area in square kilometers of Shizuoka. So you have Shizuoka S Studio or Silent Hills Studio.
We're so tired.
So I think, look, I mean, this is like methamphetamine to never be game over, to that community.
And that's we couldn't even see it really at first. Like I had to really crank the brightness all the way on my phone. Nitroid, you couldn't see it even. Like what did you have to do to finally see the letters? Like,
oh, I had to go into like Photoshop and crank it up because I'm on an OLED and like the dark parts of the screen are really dark. And
this was not apparent. Like this was not Sam picking up a cardboard box and be like, "Hi, Metal Gear." Like, this wasn't just like a subtle nod that like everybody was supposed to pick on. This was a deep cut here. Like, I don't know.
Well, okay. There's two reads on this, okay, and I'm sure everybody's having their fun with this.
I would say I think it's just a nod. It's like, hey, we're not doing PT, Silent Hills or whatever. But like, this is kind of like what some of the ideas I had going on, or just
right,
like a spiritual successor, pretty much. Like,
if we could have,
yeah,
right. These are, yeah. That's probably the truth of it. Occam's razor, what's more believable. But of course, people are speculating, like, is he working with Konami? Is there another Silent Hill on the way? And I'm like, probably, like, probably not.
Yeah,
like,
come on.
I will say this. I am a sucker for devs reusing assets, especially if they're assets from canceled games. So,
yeah,
I'm looking forward to it from that perspective. But I have to follow my rule. I was also a bit just kind of whelmed as well. I get it. I get why people were.
Yeah.
Some people felt the way they did. However, I always like to adhere to my own principles, which is can't trust a Kojima game until I see the end credits.
Yeah.
And even then.
Let's not predict Moby Dick Studios happen. Like, Jesus, like this man will go far for a little ruse cruise, it's just.
Yeah, but that was solved in like what? A couple of hours?
A day. And that's where he's getting trickier. That's what I'm saying. For him to hide that into some low exposure, we're going to crank up Photoshop to see it. It's like, all right, man, and it was like, how many frames actually was it shown per letter? Like one? I didn't actually go frame by frame, but it wasn't obvious.
Well, if I could offer another perspective, it's definitely the true ending of Metal Gear Solid 5 Never Be Game Over.
This is chapter 3 right here. We got it, boys.
Confirm.
Oh my gosh.
All of this, shifting with going back to just focusing on Kojima, how he does stuff. Nitroid recently made a tweet.
Oh God.
Kind of rubbed some people the wrong way. I guess we'll talk about that. But
a bit.
It's something that needs to be explored, kind of, because we have this evolution here of a game director, and I'm never one to like try to stifle creativity, like do what you want to do, like go, if you want to make a ambient flute album, go ahead, like that's fine. don't let people's expectations define what your output is at all. Fuck them.
No, I respect that.
So there's that side of that to me as a musician and all that, where I'm like, hell yeah, dude, go do what you want. And there's also, I think it was when we got that OD trailer just coming off of the Game Awards too, it was just, there was stank in the air, it was just like, we were just kind of like, man, this sucks. And then that happened. We're like, all right, whatever, man. And it was all this big build up for that. And it was just kind of like a letdown at the time. So we were kind of coming off of that super cynical.
Yeah. I do feel like Kojima did get some undue, I guess, pushback that should have been directed more flack. Yeah, that's a great word for it. Flack for something that was like just poor planning on the Keighleys parts.
Yeah, it's like the presentation around it kind of soured the thing itself. Like it was like, man, all these other devs want to talk. You gave Kojima 8 minutes to say, yeah, we're doing an Xbox game on cloud. Check it out. It's got Jordan Peele on it. And we got some really great mocap. Thanks, guys. Watch the trailer. Like he could have done that, but somehow they stretched that out to 8 minutes. Like I kind of blacked out. I don't remember it, but I don't know. It's just
I blacked out too because I didn't believe I'd eat In-N-Out again this year, and I was.
Yeah.
And it was just.
It was like, yeah, the whole thing was just really weird. I mean, Danny DeVito was there. It was crazy. But now looking back at it, it's this game announcement. Cool. Great. I'm glad he's working on stuff. I'm glad he's working on the movie. I'm glad he's working on DS2. I'm glad he's doing a lot of stuff. But the way he's kind of been maneuvering here lately and trying to appeal, I guess, to the Hollywood side of stuff. And that was another thing with the Game Awards, too. It's like, hey, let's really prop up these movie stars that don't give a shit about these game devs. It's this weird, like, approval thing that they want from this community to like kind of rise them up. But now that we see this merging of video games and movies, it kind of makes sense why it's happening that way. I don't know. It sucks though. I don't like it.
So
Kojima, Nitroid misses Punk Kojima pretty much. He missed the old Kojima. And shout out to Snake Suit for writing out the whole verse for that. But yeah, Neo Kobe Kojima.
So yeah. So since people listening might not know what the hell you're talking about.
Well, that's what we do. We set it up and then we go into it, and yeah.
All right.
You basically said this man does not exist anymore, and posted the MGS2 trailer. And that's
the guy. Yeah, I said I posted the original MGS2 E3 2000 trailer, and I said the guy who made this doesn't exist anymore, and people had feelings about that.
I think, and there's an element here. There's a layer because I feel like some people like gave it the most uncharitable interpretation, which was this man just wants Kojima to make stealth.
God, no.
More Metal. Where's my Metal Gear? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no.
Anybody that's listened to the show knows that's not the case. It
went deeper than that.
Yeah, it's the creative style, and I feel like even if the core elements of what Kojima does haven't changed, they've been hyper exaggerated to a point where it's resulting in something that I do not like. God, okay, like how do I even parse this? Like, look, first of all, like I have been praising Hideo Kojima's work and obsessively following it for practically my entire life. I will probably continue to do so moving forward. I think I've earned the right to criticize him a little bit here. And it's not coming out of nowhere. Like I know, I look, I don't mean to sound smug, but I know what I'm talking about.
No.
You know, and ultimately, look, these are my opinions.
Sure.
You know, you do not have to engage with my opinions. You do not have to care about what I say. They are my opinions, and you can keep scrolling if you do not like it.
Yeah, these are all a given, man. I mean, that's, you know, and like Dave said, I mean, this basically just comes down to either people taking what you said, which we'll give it to them, it can be taken a lot of ways. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, okay.
This, you know, if there is that basis of it of like, what did you mean by that? And this could be taken in. And that's why the people in bad faith took it where they wanted to take it, or just were like, you know, got pissed and said, I like Death Stranding. What do you mean?
And that's exactly why I put in the notes in that bullet point. What did Nitroid mean? To give you the floor.
Okay.
This is your chance.
Go ahead, Nitroid.
All right. So look, like I am genuinely happy that people like Death Stranding, that it resonated with them, it clicked, they got something out of it. I am happy for that. You know, that is your experience, and my opinion, different as it may be, does not negate that. This is an opinion. But I have become increasingly frustrated with his work for many years, mostly starting with MGS4. Death Stranding in particular, I didn't enjoy it all that much. I think it's a mixed bag at best. It has some really great ideas in it that I wish were explored or refined more, and maybe they will be in DS2, but it just did not resonate with me in the way it seems to have with other people. I felt it was sort of an unorganized, overindulgent mess.
Yeah.
That never really anchored me to anything. I never really felt like I gave a crap about what was going on. It had some incredibly interesting ideas and some of the best graphic design and environment design I've ever seen. Like, just phenomenal looking game.
Yeah, visuals on point.
But I felt nothing. And you know, I wouldn't call it artificial. I don't think it's artificial. I just think it did not resonate with me. And when it comes to something like OD, you know, it's annoying that OD is being lauded with so much praise and hype despite absolutely nothing of substance being shown.
We got that leak with the titties. Let's, you know.
Look, and it sort of just comes down to, like, you know, I think he's getting further and further away from these structured experiences that are clear and concise. And I'm not saying they need to make sense. Don't get me wrong. Like, that's not it. It's difficult to talk about, but
Metal Gear, clear and concise. All right, go on.
Yeah, right. You're right. I guess part of it also is that I'm kind of tired of Kojima spending more time and energy. Apparently, you know, obviously we don't know what he's doing behind the scenes. I'm sure he's working very hard, but it definitely seems more like outwardly most of the energy goes into tweeting and hanging with celebrities and selling brand merchandise for things that aren't out yet than doing anything that I find even moderately interesting or intellectual. Like,
I mean, he's got teams handling all, you know, that's something he's just got to sign off on, and that's happening automatically for him. That's
sure.
taking up
and
too much of his day, you know. And that's the thing. Yeah, we're looking at apparently, like you said, it's just, this is what we see. You know, there's so much more happening underneath, of course.
Sure. And I absolutely grant that.
I'm going to hit the copium and suggest that maybe this merchandising may or may not be the foundation of a lot of what they do, which I get a lot of what they do now is you're not a fan of, but I'm willing to accept it more if it's like a necessary evil.
Perhaps, yeah.
Again, copium.
But I mean, it could. I've said this elsewhere, but Kojima now seems mostly characterized by, you know, this sort of zealous fervor, celebrity liaisons, brand merchandise, and it's not interesting to me. You know, yeah. It's not challenging the way I think about things. It's not really giving me new ideas. You know, it's left me very disillusioned. I don't think he should stick to stealth. I don't think he should stick to Metal Gear. I do think he should explore, and I'm glad that he is. I would never want him to be forced into making the same thing over and over again. I wanted Metal Gear to end for a very long time. I wanted him to go and do something different. But that doesn't mean I have to like what he ends up doing.
Sure.
You know? And look, it's not like I'm not going to play DS2. It's not like I'm going to play OD. It's just I have an opinion about the direction he's going in and how he's approaching these things, and I don't think it's positive. It's like I'm not going to be dishonestly enthusiastic for stuff I don't like, you know?
Yeah. And you shouldn't be expected to either. I mean, it's just people just praising anything that comes out, you know, you don't want to be doing that. Yeah.
I'm still a huge fan.
Yeah, sure.
There is this concept of you ever heard of a Fisherian runaway?
Nope. Go ahead.
Okay. It's a genetics concept. The idea is that you have a trait that is selected for that is beneficial initially, but as it becomes expressed more dramatically and predominantly over time, it becomes exaggerated, and eventually it stops being a benefit and starts becoming a detriment.
Oh yeah, you were talking about that the other night. Yeah.
Yeah. The easiest example of this is the peacock's tail, and how absolutely ridiculous it's become over generations because it's been selected for in breeding, and now it's, you know, it actually like is a negative effect on mobility for the animal, right? And I think in some ways that is a good analogy for the problem with Kojima now, is because a lot of his traits, which were strengths early on, like focus on Hollywood, attention to new technology and detail, and all of these things that worked very well for him when the medium was fresh and new and people were trying to figure things out, so it really put him on the forefront. Now those are a detriment, I think, because he's following this idealized concept of the game as the Hollywood experience, when in many ways games have surpassed Hollywood, financially at least.
You see movies just bombing all the time left and right now. I mean, just people aren't seeing movies as much anymore, but people are definitely spending money, you know, especially the kids. Like, I don't know, that it seems like they're definitely, this generation is probably more into gaming than any before it.
I totally get that this is his childhood dream to be, you know, just in the middle of the Hollywood experience, to be, you know, bumping elbows with stars and being lavished with praise from all of the people that are a part of the industry that he has idealized and romanticized. Like, he's living the happiest life he possibly could right now, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But I think that it has given him a blindness to the quality of what he's putting out. He doesn't need Hollywood, they need him. And he doesn't get that. He's better than Hollywood. I wish he'd realize it. That's all.
That's a good way to put it, man. I mean, that's, if someone can listen to that and just be like, no, you just want more Metal Gear. It's like, they're
No, I don't. I don't want more Metal Gear.
Yeah, you've got valid reasons for your,
I want more experiments like Snatcher and Police Knots. I want more weird stuff that actually holds together and makes me feel something and is anchored in something meaningful.
Yeah.
Whereas with Death Stranding, it just seems so facetious and surface level in a lot of its messaging that I'm just like, yeah, I get it. We should all get along and connect more. Big revelation there. I'm sorry, but I get that. And it's sort of patronizing, So I don't know. I feel like his talent is being wasted on high production work, which is a weird sort of paradoxical statement, but that's kind of where I land.
I mean, that's like this A24 partnership. I see it as like, I can imagine him doing the consulting, just giving them kind of direction on it and stuff, and not being director, but, just giving them stuff to work with and them going, damn, that's a good idea. Like he is a very good idea guy. And then if he has a studio around him to kind of go, Kojima, we can't put blood on the disc. That's psycho. Like, you know what I mean? Like he needs that. He needs a Konami, but not necessarily Konami, but he needs something like that to go.
He needs a no guy, yeah.
Yeah, he's surrounded by kind of yes guys, and it's
like an it sucks guy.
Yeah, I'd be like, I don't know, man, we can't be out here doing that. Because right now, I mean, they're selling the DS2 necklace now for like $450, $500 now.
Oh, God.
I'm kind of wondering if Jordan Peele's going to be that no guy. Because, I don't know. I'm just inferring.
That'd be nice. I mean, look, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe DS2 is amazing and it solves all the problems I had. Maybe OD truly is going to be this groundbreaking thing. But it's not just Death Stranding that's making me say this. It's been sort of everything going back to MGS4 where the quality of the work has sort of struggled. And I get that he was really shoehorned into Metal Gear. So maybe these are just growing pains now that he's sort of free from that environment. So we'll see. If I'm wrong, which I hope I am, if these two come out and they're absolutely brilliant, then I will have nothing but praise.
Yeah. And you've said it before, the sequels is normally where he really gets it right. He puts out an idea, it kind of, there's some hit or miss stuff in there. I mean, I hate that in Metal Gear 1, if I don't have the exact key card in, I try to go into the door, it just won't work. It's like, that's so annoying, but they fixed that in Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake. So it's just, he'll perfect whatever he put down the first time, he'll go back and perfect it. And that's kind of what I am looking forward to Death Stranding too, and seeing how they move on forward with this initial idea that was kind of a 6 or 7 for me at the end of the day. Like you said, it had great parts, but just didn't really fully grab me or click in. What even is a Death Stranding? We don't know.
Start there.
Yeah.
Just tell me what that is, and we'll be on the path to recovery.
What the hell is even that?
One more point on it really quick. I mean, we did see that one tweet recently too, where he's kind of said, and this is from our perspective, where we're kind of like just seeing like, oh, he's hanging out with this guy, he's hanging out with that guy. Like he kind of like samples the world every once in a while. He's like, all right, what we got going on over here? What's going on over here? And he might not select everybody at the end of the day, but he kind of like checks around to see like, all right, who's got the latest, greatest tech over in this area, or what's going on here?
Yeah.
Like he said in the tweet, he's looking for this Avengers squad, like he's looking for the best of the best. And, that's exciting.
The fact that he called it that made me roll my eyes though.
I know, but like you get it though. Like, what he's saying though. He's like, I'm trying to look for the best guys.
You know who also compared his team to Avengers?
Yeah.
Tommy Tallarico.
Damn it.
Yeah, I mean, in brighter news, and it sort of relates to how we talk about game preservation and everything. The Video Game History Foundation just announced a project that they've been working on. It's the VGHF library, and it's a digital library. It's a an accessible archive for people to sort of pour through all of their resources. They've had to be very careful with how they do it, considering the legality of some of the things that they've got archived, but they're starting to set it up like an actual library that you can go to and check out and research things and see what's available. They've got a video on it.
The indexing and the cataloging was just incredible. Like the way that they have it, if you want to search just Genesis magazines that came out between 90 and 95 that had this game. It's like you can break down the filters, and just that they've got it all logged in that way is incredible.
Right, and you don't have to fly all the way out to California to look at it, and it's just an incredible amount of information that they have. It's just quite amazing, and I'm really looking forward to seeing where that goes. So I recommend everybody who's got an interest in game preservation, physical media at all, and just all of this, go take a look at what they're working on, because it's pretty impressive. I would really like to get the founder, Frank Cifaldi. I'd like to get him on and ask him some questions sometime. He used to do a podcast and do some work with Tim Rogers over at Insert Credit. I used to listen to that show religiously. So it'd be really cool to talk to them.
What was the issue that you said might be finally solved by this VGHF being like online, like something to do with Metal Gear 2. Or something? What was that? I hadn't heard about that, or I didn't know what you were talking about.
The gist of it, though, is that MGS2 initially, so everybody knows how MGS2 had some scenes that were cut after 9/11, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they submitted it. It failed certification the first time around. That was sort of the 1.0 version, and the timing with 9/11 and everything that was going on, plus the master submission being, failing cert for whatever reason. If it was, bug, usually it's just bugs or non-compliance to some standard that Sony's got or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever the reason, the timing was weird, and they had that option to go back in while they were fixing things and remove certain content in response to 9/11. So the original version of the game that was submitted for cert is like 1.00, right?
Mm-hmm.
The version that eventually ended up in stores is 1.01. There has been speculation, rumor over the years that the 1.0 is floating around somewhere, because it was submitted.
Yeah.
Now, whether that's true or not, I can't say. But someone, I can't remember his name, but somebody associated with the VGHF said once that they thought they had that in their archive.
I guess we'll see.
And I need to follow up on that a little more. But if they're doing this library, it may be possible to just go in and look and see what they have. Obviously, we won't be able to download it, but if they have a listing, a catalog of everything they have, it could tell us if that's available, and then that's gonna make things really.
I think they said they were gonna put it on like archive to like figure out, to not, because they don't have the kind of like the resources or the
some of it,
to do like full downloads from the site. So a lot of it will be on archive.
Well, it's not just that, but also the legality of it. Like, you can't just host ISOs for games and let people download them. It's libraries. I mean, hell, libraries are brought under scrutiny for this, for just having books that are on sale in bookstores, right?
Yeah.
But and this is a fairly recent controversy, but it seems sort of patently absurd. But with games, it seems like, a little more contentious, but we'll see. So either way, I think it's a really cool project, just from a preservation standpoint, but we'll see what happens.
No, I'm definitely excited to check that out. Looks really well done. So
that's the gist of what's been going on.
Yeah.
We got the Game Awards in OD, Snake in Fortnite, a DS movie, some preservation stuff, Kojima collaborating with Jordan Peele and driving the Never Be Game Over community crazy, I'm sure.
I mean, if you're really tying OD back to Metal Gear, like, God, go outside and just like talk to other people in real life. Like touching grass isn't all you need to do. Like, you need to communicate with another human being face to face. Like, that's what needs to happen, I think. But I don't know.
We're gonna get a hate thread.
Don't care.
So, yeah, what a way to end the year.
Yeah, great way to end the year.
Yep, we are definitely winding down here for the year. We will be back. This is episode 99, so when we come back, we're going to try to do a little something special for episode 100 for sure. So we might be out for a tiny bit while we try to figure out the logistics of that. Should be a solid episode, though. Yeah, Happy New Year. Happy holidays. Thanks for listening, y'all. It's been a crazy year. Does anybody want to say anything about 2023? I mean, we had fucking MGS Con and Snake Eater Delta remake. I mean, all of this stuff has been happening. It's kind of been a good year for Metal Gear fans. It's been up and down, but I think overall it's been a pretty good year for it.
It has definitely been a roller coaster, and it's been such an honor to be on this ride with you guys.
Yeah,
we all met in person this year. That's crazy.
Yeah,
I know.
We partied.
That was one of the highlights of my year. I love you guys, and just New Year's resolution. I'm gonna try to be more positive. We'll see if it sticks.
New Year's resolution. I'm gonna be more of a cunt.
I was about to say, I'm gonna be more negative next year. Fuck this.
I'll give you my negativity. You can take some
Sounds
of it.
good. I'll give you my comedic timing.
Yes.
Oh, dude, I don't know if that's gonna transfer. That might just.
We're both just gonna be insufferable now.
It's not as funny without the British accent. It just doesn't work.
Can I have that too?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, I got the switch. Hold on one sec. Say something, Nitro?
I'm not doing this, dude. No.
No, I'm not doing this. No, I'm not doing it.
All right, y'all. Thanks for listening. This is the Kojima Frequency. When we come back, we might be something different. See y'all next time.
When we get off here, do you guys want to play the day before?
Oh, dude, that game looks sick.
Get the fuck out of here.
Let's check it out.
Is that out?
Yeah, squat up. Let's go.
At least we're not the day before fans.